guys all good? We good? Call to order the Vermillion County Council meeting for August. If you please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We'll start with roll call. Mr. Reynolds.
Present.
Mr. Weir.
Here.
Mr. Somerville.
Here.
Mr. Bush.
Here.
Mrs. James, I'm here. Mr. Dreer.
Here.
And Mr. Brown.
Here.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. First item is approval of minutes. We have two sets of minutes. The first is from June 13th, 2022. We had some corrections made on there. Is there any other comments or questions regarding the June minutes?
Motion to approve.
Okay. I have a motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. I have a motion for Mr. Bush, a second for Mr. Dreer, to approve the June 13th, 2022 minutes. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, state no. Minutes are approved. We also have meeting minutes from the July 11th, 2022 meeting. Are there any questions regarding those minutes?
Motion made.
Okay.
Second.
All right. I have a motion for Mr. Weir, a second for Mr. Somerville. All those in favor of approving the minutes from July 2022 signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed state no. Minutes are approved. Our next item is the treasurer's report. We have the treasurer's and the interest report. Are there any questions or concerns regarding any of the reports? No? All right. Moving on to transfers, we have 3 reporting onlys. These do not require a vote. Does anyone have any questions or concerns with any of the transfers? All right. We have a few additional appropriations this evening. Our first one is for the services from Kathleen Hamilton for 2022. There was an increase of $3,283.52. So we're needing an additional appropriation to cover the increase for 2022.
Actually, how does the state calculate each county what they have to pay?
It's calculated for us. I believe, is it the state that calculates it?
State does.
Yeah.
Or not?
The state calculates it and they send it to us and they just tell us what we owe. And they make us pay it.
Calculations for it.
We really don't have a choice in the matter, so.
But we don't know how we break down to what we pay.
They came to the commissioners meeting a month or two ago.
I know, it's given to us every year by deal. In fact, we talked about it today with our deal being and increase. I'm sure there's some population-based way they calculate it. I don't know the answer to that, sure.
We have to pay it since it's mandated by them. I mean, I make a motion to go ahead and allow that $3,000-something.
It says on this you can find a calculation at this website down at the bottom of the page.
Oh, it's on, oh yeah, the look the page over, yeah, that's that guy.
If you want to go do it.
Yeah, it does say that information about the change in funding calculation can be found here. And there's a very long
Yeah.
website address.
They emailed me.
I wouldn't want to type it in.
They
Yeah.
emailed us the number for what it's going to be next year, but I didn't open the email yet. He just emailed it Saturday.
Okay.
So,
Complicated.
Yeah. I have a motion for Mr. Dreer, a second for Mr. Bush. Is there any further discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving the $3,283.52 for Catherine Hamilton, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Those opposed state no. Appropriations approved. All right, our next additional appropriation is for the West Central Indiana Public Defender's Office. There's two separate ones, right? Okay, yeah. The first one is for $36,558.99. It is listed as the paralegal and then all of the employment benefits after that.
So is this our portion? I mean, there's like 3 counties involved. This would be ours.
No, it's already, we've received in the monies from all the both counties, we've already received the monies in.
Okay.
So it's all 3 counties' monies together.
now the only issue though is, aren't they asking for what we have?
Yes.
So that's just like $6,000 or so, or?
Yep.
See, the cash balance, there's bottom, 96.24.
Yeah, with the second appropriation is, when you add that to the first one. They are short.
That's Fountain and Parks and Art. I guess that's all 3 appropriations we put in
It is short $78.53.24.
So all 3 are in the 96,000? Already received.
So are the other 2 counties willing to chip in a third of the amount that they're over?
I don't know.
I don't know, I wasn't at the meeting when they did these. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
You really can't, I mean, unless there's,
Money in the bank can't prove.
you can't really approve more than what's
Right.
available. So, reduce it, and then you need to come back and they have to go to all, our share is, it's not a third, it's more like 40. I think we have the lion's share, not by a drastic amount. But we would have to transfer some additional money over from general fund or from their assistance budget.
The second, I was going to say, just the second additional appropriation is for the chief public defender. The first one is for the paralegal, which I'm assuming they need the chief public defender first.
And that, I obviously, he's been hired. I don't know if the paralegal has started.
I don't believe this is not to get us to the end of the year. This is just an amount to get us, it's not the full year, you know what I'm saying? They're
Right.
wanting to do this to appropriate, to pay him, because he's already working.
That's what I thought.
But I don't believe the paralegal's in there yet.
She's working.
Oh, she is working. See, I
August
didn't-
1st she started.
So I guess it needs to be figured from now till the end of the year.
This was figured from July, wasn't it?
So the paralegal should be less.
Way less,
Okay.
So did he start August 1st or?
July 1.
He did start July 1.
So his are correct. And then the paralegal will come down some.
Tell you spoke earlier about our share would be like 40%. They calculate it on caseload, is that how they do it?
And they recalculate it every year. So it could go up or down next year.
Thanks.
Even if you prorate that a month, we'll still be probably about 2,000 short.
So should we just
1,500,
appropriate
2,000.
what they're asking for and they can come back?
Yeah, they're gonna have to come back and ask for some additional money.
Can't give him more than-
From Fountain and from.
Right. We can't give any more than what's advertised anyway.
You can't give, you can't.
Well, and they have money in the supplemental fund too that they could use.
They could transfer,
They
yeah.
can move over.
We do, the state will reimburse ultimately for, I'm sorry, what, they're 2/3 of this or something, whatever we spend, or, yeah, if we spend 100,000 here and we get 2/3 of that back, we also have to give a prorated portion back to town and back to Park County.
Okay. If we appropriate the complete amount for the chief public defender, that leaves a balance of $28,705.75. And then they would have to come back and ask for the additional amount for the paralegal. Or we just not approve anything for one, but, I mean, if we put some, at least that gets them started, I guess. And they can recalculate how much they actually do need for the end of the year.
Makes sense.
For our benefit, we would need it because we're in the negative.
Okay, for both of them. Okay. That would be my recommendation, is we approve what we can, and then they can refigure the exact amount they need for a paralegal and come back and ask for a little bit of an additional for that one. That way they could pay their bills.
So-called approved, that 96,000?
Mm-hmm. So we can approve the 67,419, and then the other one would have to be reduced down to $28,705.75. Check my math one more time.
I second your motion.
I know.
I'll make it.
Brenda, what's the full amount that she's getting paid? Is it 45 or 45? That's what I'm saying, I don't think we need 28,000 for her.
Did you get paid? We didn't do it by pay.
Okay.
Well, they need to sharpen their pencil and come back and figure out exactly how much more they need to cover it, because it may be,
I see what you're saying. We didn't do it by pay, we did it by half.
Right, we need to do it by what's left.
Yeah.
So we need
So the, okay. 27 might cover it.
I believe it will.
Okay. All right, I have a motion for Mr. Weir. Is there a second?
I'll second. Go ahead. No, that's all right, Andy. You got it. Somebody needs to.
All right, I have a motion for Mr. Weir, a second for Mr. Dreer, to approve $67,419, the chief public defender, and $28,705.75 for the paralegal position. It's including the payroll, benefits, and insurance as well. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed state no. Appropriations are approved.
Someone notified them they had to reduce that. Okay.
Our next additional appropriation tonight is for the Vermillion County Health Department. They received $1,000 from the State Health Department. They are asking us to appropriate it into their fund for their operating expenses. And the money's already been received, they just need it in their fund.
I'll make a motion.
Okay?
Second.
All right, I have a motion from Mr. Brown, a second from Mr. Bush, to allow $1,000 for the Health Department and their operating expenses. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Those opposed state no. Appropriations approved. The next additional appropriation is also for the Health Department. It's for $144,434.44. It is money from the Indiana State Health Department. It's for the COVID-19 vaccine administrations. The state has already sent us the money. They are just asking to appropriate it into their budget lines into operating expenses and training.
Motion.
Motion. I have a motion from Mr. Bush. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. I have a motion from Mr. Bush, second from Mr. Reynolds.
Discussion?
Yep.
Is it, what all is gonna be in the training? Just curious.
Training is going to be, we're going to be offering CPR certification to members of Amended County. I put on several training courses to anybody who wants to sign up, and we're going to pay for the course and the instructor.
Okay.
So it's going to be a blended where they'll do part of it online, and then so they'll have 2 hours of that, and they'll have 2 hours in-person training by a Red Cross certified.
So that'd be this year, 2023? Just curious. Do you know?
Sorry?
I said, will it be in 2022 or 2023? Just curious.
First class, we're hoping, is August 29th.
Thank you.
Is recertification that long also? Like if you're certified,
You
recertification?
could recertify as well.
Any further discussion, questions?
No.
All right. All those in favor of approving the $144,434.44 for the Health Department, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, state no. Appropriations approved. And the Health Department does have one more, oh, actually 2 more, sorry. The next one is the Emergency Preparedness Grant. This is just to set up their grant for the year for July 2022 to June 30th of 2023. It is for a total of $25,000. Their budget year is split differently than a normal operating year. That's why we have it at this time of year.
Probably ought to let people know that this, this is not county general money, it's grant money that's coming to us from the state, it's something we're not spending out of our county general.
Yes, that's right. This is grant, all the past money we've just approved was all grant money and from the state, and then our next one additionally is also grant money, so none of it is county general from any of their requests.
I'll make it.
All right, I have a motion from Mr. Brown
Second?
and a second from Mr. Weir. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of approving the $25,000 for the Health Department, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed state no. Appropriation is approved. All right, and our last additional appropriation tonight is also for the Health Department. This is the additional funds from the state for the COVID-19 clinics, routine vaccine clinics. This is also for July of 2022 through June of 2023. The total amount is $21,352.42.
Motion made.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion for Mr. Weir, a second for Mr. Reynolds. Is there any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor of approving the $21,352.42, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed state no. Appropriations approved. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, that is the end of our additional appropriations this evening. We have one item on the old business. We have the Sustainable Sourcing LLC tax abatement. We received a letter from the Vermilion County Economic Development Council. They also met with Sustainable Sourcing, have reviewed the abatement, and they have voted to recommend the abatement to the County Council for favorable consideration. So. I know Economic Development is here if anyone has questions for them. Mr. Shagley is also here.
Yes.
If there's any questions regarding the abatement. You have any questions?
I don't.
No?
Both
Okay.
this one's right.
Yes, we did have it at the last meeting, and this is the final approval for tonight.
The final action.
Yep.
I make motion to allow the abatement.
Okay.
This is a public hearing, so
I'll ask it. Yep. It is considered the public hearing as well. Are there any questions or comments from anyone in the public? All right. Being that there's none, I have a motion for Mr. Dreer, a second for Mr. Bush. All those in favor of approving the tax abatement resolution number 2022-06 for sustainable sourcing, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed state no. All right, the abatement is approved.
Thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll try to be a little further next time.
Yeah.
I'm doing a presentation about the history of tax
All right, we have a few items under new business. Let's see, the first one is an amended salary for part-time employees. The commissioners have asked if we would approve a change to the salary ordinance, so to increase part-time help to a minimum of $13 an hour. I believe right now is $10 an hour, and they're asking to increase that. It hasn't been increased since, does anyone know what the actual year? It's been a very long time.
Long time.
It'll help get part-time help.
I have a question. This is a minimum of 13. Is it gonna be 13 or is that just a starting point?
Well, they said 13, but some of our, I wasn't sure how to word it, see, some of our position has already had you approved different dollar amounts. There's just a few.
I think there's a couple positions that pay different part-time rates.
I'm just curious because it said a minimum of.
Yeah, it was in the budget of.
I think the P board, they want like 15, wasn't it? If I remember right.
I don't remember that off the top of my head.
I remember the sheriff had one that was like
Yeah.
16.
Okay.
I don't know if we increased it yet, but I think that's the one.
Okay.
Hmm.
Instead of, I think we need to kind of explore this a little bit more instead of rushing into it. Not that I'm opposed to raising it. I think, I don't want to come back in 6 months and think about raising it again. Let's look at it and let's just do it one time. But there's a lot of people making more than $13 an hour that's minimum wage. So, and if we've got different people doing different dollars, I think we need to kind of get all of our facts together. Maybe I guess I'm not prepared to, to discuss it.
I
That's
agree
just
with you,
that-
Rick. I think that we probably need to digest a little bit more on this, and maybe the auditor can find out what some of the other people are making in the courthouse and maybe down at the jail, so then come back and make a one-time deal on it.
That was my question. The reason I said minimum
Yeah,
13.
I thought that's
It's
what you were
not
alluding
To me, I don't say it's bad wording, but I'm just saying if somebody's at jail's making 16, then why is somebody here part-time making 13?
Because that was what was approved in the budget hearings.
I- I'm not-
Last year's budget hearing.
Maybe we do something relatively quick on this and get it, so we have maybe next meeting.
Pardon me?
Think we can get something done so we have next meeting. Okay.
Okay.
I just think it might be cutting our nose off to the side of the
And
face.
could we check maybe with the surrounding counties, just for curiosity?
Okay.
So I think it might be tabled.
Yep, we will. We
Go quick.
can table that to our September meeting.
Just-
So, whenever anyone has the information though, can you forward us whatever you might have for the, that way when we are doing budget hearings, maybe we can consider that also for next year. Okay. Our next new item of new business is a letter we received from the Vermilion Trails Alliance. Several years ago, they asked us to kind of advance them the money for the work, for the grant money they received, and they have repaid $49,918.79 of that. So it can now be transferred back into the county general. The original amount was $50,000, so it left a difference of $81.21. They said they will reimburse that difference also if needed. We just need to let them know. But we also needed approval to transfer that back to the general fund. And they thanked us for allowing us to use those funds.
I make a motion, we transfer the $49,918.79 back into general.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion for Mr. Bush, second for Mr. Brown, to transfer $49,918.79 back into the general fund. All those in favor, please
Can I
signify.
have discussion on that?
Oh, yes, you may, I'm sorry.
Last sentence is, let me know if we need to reimburse the difference. Are we worried about that?
We can decide on that separately if you want.
Okay.
So, or we can, we can amend the motion and
can do that.
make it, amend the motion?
I'll amend it, I don't care.
Okay.
I'll amend it to say that amount of money with, not to worry about the $81, however you want to put it in your minutes.
Okay.
I agree. I'll
And
second
then,
that.
Marty, are you okay with?
Yep.
All right. Okay, I have a motion for
It's
Mr.
awesome,
Bush,
paint it back.
a second for Mr. Brown, to approve the $49,918.79 transferred back to the general fund, with that being the final amount paid from the Trails Alliance. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Nah.
All those against, please signify by saying no. All right, all approved. Would you let Lynn know that they don't need to worry about the $81? Thank you. All right. Our last new item on our new business is the PWO board appointment. It's for the Property Tax Appeals Board. We had no one apply for a level 2 or level 3, and we have one application, Sandra Whitaker from Covington. She is willing to come down and help us out. Paige is needing an appointment so they can start scheduling appeal appointments.
So will she be available before next year?
Yes, she said she could come down this year.
Okay, because I see where it says she's retiring, and I thought, well, maybe.
She is, I believe, working with both counties.
Oh, okay.
And then she's retiring from her full-time position up there. But she is willing to come down and help us for appeals this year.
Okay.
We haven't found anyone that's had the qualifications to sit on the board. So this is the first application we've had for that position.
Just need a motion.
Yes, I'll need a motion and a second for the approval of the appointment.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay. I have,
Find somebody, isn't
it is.
it? Level 2 is pretty.
Yeah, it requires additional training, so. I have a motion for Mr. Brown, a second for Mr. Dreer, to appoint Sandra Whitaker to the Property Tax Adjustment Board of Appeals. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, state no. Okay. Sandra is approved. All right. We do not have any other items on our agenda. Is there any public comment, concerns, or questions this evening?
Would you make an announcement about the September meetings?
Yes.
That were changed.
I will. Yes. Our September meetings is not the normal day. We also have budget hearings in September. It is a 2-day process. And we moved those to the 14th and 15th, right? Okay. So the budget hearings are September 14th and 15th. And they begin at 8 a.m. Nope, 9 a.m. Sorry. 9 a.m. each day. And then our regular meeting will be on the 15th at 6:30 at normal time. Okay, any questions? No? Okay. No public comment? Yeah.
Lucas devices, is that a public comment or is that?
Yes, you can. Yep, I'm sorry. Mr. Luther is here to talk to us about Lucas devices. He asked.
County Commissioners has been looking at Lucas devices, basically as a mechanical CPR system that assists our fire departments and other units to basically it's a mechanical CPR system that we find that our fire departments have issues with manpower and be able to effectively provide emergency services to groups. And we're considering the purchase of somewhere between 8 and 12 units. Still under discussion as far as that's concerned. But we're going to be asking the council to fund these, and I have Stryker here tonight to be able to make the presentation of what these units do and what the effectiveness of those are, along with the, if you wish, there's a demonstration that they can provide as well as what the units are. They have one of them here tonight. But we believe that there'll be a recommendation to the council, and we'll be asking for the funding for this. It appears that probably this is going to come from ARP funds, of which the commissioners have to, one, approve, and then two, the council has to approve those funds before they can be distributed. If it doesn't come from ARP funds, then I'm not sure what account that would come from. It can come from Board of Health. I've talked with Dr. Margaret, and she believes that the CPR classes are a better use of the monies than it is to go to the device. So with that being said, I'd like for Stryker to make a presentation. Mr. Sizemore?
So first of all, thank you for having us. My name's Tanner Sizemore. I've got my colleague Zach Jordan back there. Thanks for having us. I don't have anything special. I'll try to keep it quick. But like Commissioner Luther had mentioned, we've been working with the fire departments and with the commissioners in Vermilion County to demonstrate the Lucas devices and get their feedback. And so I came out here 6 or 8 weeks ago, met with all the fire chiefs, Commissioner Luther and Commissioner Yoakum, and we discussed it, and then ultimately the advice from the fire chiefs back to the commissioners was that they wanted to move forward and hopefully purchasing these devices. So just down south in Vigo County, we recently distributed 13 devices. That was in May, I believe. And they used a combination of ARP funds as well as health department funds, which obviously we've been told health department doesn't, wouldn't be contributing here in Vermilion County, but the ARP funds I gather are still available. But since we've distributed those devices in Vigo County, there have been at least 2 or 3 saves of people who went into cardiac arrest and who have left the hospital. Now, you can never fully prove that the Lucas device was to credit for those saves. However, they have noticed increased metrics, which they call ROSC, return of spontaneous circulation. So that's a heartbeat, and then the saves of patients walking